Only the John Wick universe could have a movie called Ballerina and make it sound threatening. I'm looking forward to this, right? A little nervous, the idea of a John Wick spinoff. It sounds cool, but how is it going to make me feel? Is it going to be executed properly with the same style of John Wick? I hope it doesn't stray too far away from that world. I want some epic action, a fun performance. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm interested. Let's see. Okay, I don't think I was expecting to have that much fun watching a John Wick spinoff, man. I thought maybe it would miss some of that magic, and it's missing a little bit of it, right? Not as slick of direction as the John Wick movies, maybe a couple of things here and there. But all in all, I had a good time with that story. Even the mystery, there's a bug. Even the mystery of it all really compelled me, and I thought Ana de Armas kicked so much ass all throughout that, man. We have some fun things to talk about when it comes to John Wick's addition to the movie, if it felt forced or not. But all in all, I'm feeling pretty good after that screening, and I can't believe it even gets close to the originals.
Was I nervous about this? Absolutely. How many franchises have we seen that we love that go on to do pointless sequel after pointless sequel or random spin-off that's not nearly as good? The one that came to mind for some reason was the Conjuring franchise, where they started doing like Annabelle and then this and that, and a couple were fine, but most of them were like, what's the point?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Do you like the dogs? I know a school where they teach dogs.
By the way, it's rated R for exactly what you think, right? Lots of violence, gore, some strong language in there, everything you get in the John Wick movies, including John Wick himself. And if you haven't seen the trailer or literally no marketing for this film and you didn't know that, why are you watching a review? But we've seen shades of this organization in the John Wick films. You see a ballerina on stage and he's talking to this older woman. You're like, okay, what is this? Is this like a subsection of the people that John Wick works for? There's something going on. There's lore here. And the world of John Wick at this point is so vast, so expansive that you can do this if you want. You can take side quests and subplots and characters that make an appearance here and there and do something with them. They tried with the television show, and I don't think that gained the popularity they wanted. But with this spin-off movie, you can have the elements that make John Wick work without going in the exact same direction, because even though Ballerina has a couple of those beautiful ingredients that I love from John Wick, it does feel like its own movie with its own revenge tale. And while it's a tale as old as time, a story that we've seen several times, specifically in action movies, more specifically in assassin-led films, it's still intriguing because you get that backstory, that this really intense moment when she's a lot younger, what happens to her father, sets her on this path, takes her on this quest to inevitably end up where she ends up. But there's also that moral question, like, am I in this for the right reasons? If I ever wanted to get out of this life, how would I do it? I think of films like Red Sparrow, even you get shades of that in the Avengers films with Black Widow, kind of her past and her hardcore upbringing and training. But this is once again taking on that type of plot. But Ballerina already being set in a world that we know and with characters that we love who are scattered throughout this film, which was really cool. But with that, right, my mentality going into this was, well, is it going to feel like a spinoff that didn't need to exist in the first place, and we're solely doing this because we can bring back Keanu as John Wick, we can bring back all of these other characters, the Winstons of the world, bringing back Angelica Huston, and it was really sweet to be able to dive deeper into this side of the John Wick world. But again, it's like, I don't want it to feel shoehorned. Like, why put John Wick in this movie? Is it just to make us go, oh, cool, John Wick, but it's distracting from the story at hand? That was my fear. Thankfully, I don't know if that was what actually happened. I feel like Ballerina did a nice job of integrating the elements that we know, but also making sure the focal point was and is Ana de Armas as this character. And I really thought she carried her own as she progresses further and further and slowly gets better at what she does. Like when we first see John Wick, he's already the Baba Yaga. He's already the boogeyman in that first film. And so there's not having to get to that level, right? So in this film, she's not there yet. And I'm not saying she's ever going to be on that level, but she's not at her strongest point. So she's got a little bit of kinks to work out along the way, but she does. And while they don't go as hardcore into the detail of John Wick as extravagant, a lot of the times movies forget about that. They're just like, infinite reloads and infinite gun glitch. But no, that is a focal point of John Wick, not as much here, because we're worried about this revenge quest and what's going on with this actually semi-interesting side plot over here. I liked what they were developing here. What they're cooking on the side of the John Wick universe is pretty cool, and I really like how that story progressed. As conventional as it is, nothing revolutionary, it was a nice basis for us to just expand on some sweet-ass action set pieces, and they were sweet, man. Yeah, you got your gun fu, but there's a flamethrower here. They utilized that beautifully. What she's doing with grenades in this third act action sequence, utilizing some steel items. It's like a video game. We're using items to deflect and protect ourselves. I don't know if, a lot of this was as realistic as maybe what I'm thinking, but I'm seeing this grenade go off and her protecting herself with this item. I'm just like, that's so cool. She's so smart in the moment.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
It's just as violent too, man. Limbs are flying, blood splatter. It's a lot of CGI blood. I think that's one of the complaints I have with the John Wick universe. It is CGI blood, right? But they're so realistic and lifelike with the way that they operate the guns and the machinery and the bullets and the reloading and how she's holding a gun, how John Wick holds a gun, Keanu Reeves, all the training that he went through, and then knowing all of the different objects and how, you could go on. We're getting the lore for Eve here, and Eve is becoming her own character. I want to see her do that without the assistance of John Wick throughout the movie. If he pops in like Batman, sweet. He's out there, he's watching, okay, sweet. He was in the movie a little more than maybe I expected him to be, and I was a little frustrated by that at first. But the actual addition of John Wick never managed to take away from Eve. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. Cool, but he's not impeding on the story at hand. Of course, he's in there, and it feels like maybe it was a reshoot. We got to have more Keanu Reeves to sell the tickets. Okay, fine. But they actually managed to weave it in quite well, and I actually, by the end of the movie, loved his integration into this film. Also, Lynn Wiseman is our director here. I've shat on a fair share of Lynn Wiseman movies in the past, but he's done a lot of good work recently as of late, and I believe Ballerina, it feels very consistent with the John Wick franchise. Gabriel Byrne as the Chancellor feels like a classic John Wick villain. I guess there was one integration in the third act that didn't quite work for me. A reveal where we needed a bit more time there, and Norman Reedus, he's in the movie, but, shortchanged a bit. Regardless, I want to know, did Ballerina work for you? Should I rank the John Wick / Ballerina movies? Leave your rankings down below. And did you enjoy this? I was surprised. Not only does this immediately warrant its existence, but it expands upon the world of John Wick in an exciting way. Ana de Armas kicks a ridiculous amount of ass, featuring plenty of gun fu and some fantastic grenade sequences. A few elements fall short, but Wick's presence never feels as if it takes away from our central hero, and the classic revenge quest carries the right amount of intensity. Sign me up for more from this side of Wick's world. I believe I want to see a sequel to this. Do I want to see John Wick 5? Will I watch it? Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it, but if they do my idea that I pitched on Twitter, where he fights his way out of hell, that would be sweet, man. You take it. Don't worry. I won't trademark it. You can have it. I'll see you soon.